Welcome back to Live at 5 on DR Sports Transfer Show. We are in the final 7 days of the transfer window. It's going to be a big 7 days today. We've got lots of topics. We've got Liverpool, going to talk about the game and the impact on the daily Isak stuff. Man United, Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs, Wolves, all of that. We've got so much to talk about. But I am joined today, back with Laurie again. Lovely to be back on the show with you, and Qualms once again.
Thank you.
So once again, I am surrounded by Arsenal fans, which seems to happen so much whenever I come back into this office. It's
be careful, Duck Man's just come out of the gym. Look,
you keep mentioning about the
fresh,
gym,
looking ready.
Come on, man. It's a normal thing.
He's just literally come out. Well, he looks like he's just come out.
He always looks like he's just come out of the gym, to be perfectly honest.
Thank you.
But yeah, there's a lot to talk about in the coming days. But one of the first things we want to show you quickly is a new segment. There's lovely stuff going on DR Sports all the time. Loads of content coming this year. Not yet. Okay, apparently not yet. Never mind. Right. So, should we kick on with the transfer news then? This is a fantastic start.
It is, mate. Don't worry, man. It's
Last
fine.
night, I'm sure we all watched the game.
I did a watch along here. DR.
Yeah.
They're calling
you
it.
did, didn't you? Yeah.
They're calling it the greatest watch along we've ever
Was
had.
that Carlisle versus Stamford?
No, I'm talking about the Isak derby. Newcastle versus Liverpool.
It was the Isak custody battle, is what it was.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
No, seriously, that was a hell of a watch along. Shout out to FJ, shout out to Jack, also to Doyle. We're supposed to have a Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
Zara, unfortunately she couldn't make it because she had some trouble with her car, but yeah, man, a hell of a game, hell of a watch along, really good.
It was one of the best games I've watched so far this season.
Great
It was
game.
just so much. It was, as soon as Liverpool scored that second, by the way, I knew that there was going to be a last minute winner involved in this game. I don't know why. When Liverpool scored that second, they scored that second, and everyone was like, I think I was watching with my brother, and my brother was like, well, may as well turn the TV off then. It's like 20 seconds into the second half, it's 2-0. But I was like, no. It's St James's Park.
Yeah.
The scripts this season have already been a bit mad at times.
Yeah.
So I was like, there is something in the script going on, and then Jolinton scores.
And there's something about those two teams because, I mean, you
going
guys
back in
are
history.
I can remember watching that game at home back in the day, 1996.
Stan Collymore?
Stan Collymore.
Yeah,
4 years before I was born, by the way, just if you want to feel old.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
Those are classic games. They always brought classic games to us. But yesterday was like a game of emotions, but I just feel like Liverpool are able to play and control chaos, whereas Newcastle, they use a lot of their emotions to try and dictate the game, but I think they were just too overwhelmed, and they kind of like
they got a bit naive at the end.
Yeah, with Gordon, me and Dale were talking about.
No, but even when they, Gordon, he was
stupid challenge.
It was a silly challenge.
One of the worst challenges.
By the way, the way I burst out laughing as soon as that challenge went through, I didn't stop for about 2 minutes. One of the funniest challenges and decisions I've ever seen in the Premier League.
But there's so many challenges.
To argue about it.
So many challenges that went on that we was mentioning that should have maybe have been a red card, or maybe VAR should have looked at it. But what a fantastic goal from Rio!
Oh man!
What a great move!
That strike, the strike
He
that kid
whipped
seems
it.
to have on him is outrageous.
Yeah.
First time finish as well.
And I'll tell you what, as good as that strike was, right, honestly, that piece of vision by Szoboszlai, for me, I was saying it on the stream yesterday, and it's interesting because somebody else I heard say it today as well. Obviously, I'm going to claim I said it first because I said it on the night. But seriously, Szoboszlai should get an assist, even though he didn't touch it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
that was the way he took the
created
defender
the goal,
out.
didn't he?
Yeah.
He basically took the defender out by his vision. He thought, right, okay. And he allowed Rio so much, but I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still got a lot to do.
Still had a lot to do, yeah.
But the way he did that, I was like, brilliant goal.
It was just go. I
was going to say, and also Szoboszlai doing that in the moment, knowing there's a 16-year-old behind him, still trusting him. Like they clearly have faith in this kid. Because Szoboszlai left it for him. He knows who's on the left wing. He left it for him. And like 16 years old, didn't even go through his head. But I do want to quickly say, smash that like button, everybody.
100%
in the comments, smash the like button. I want to see as many likes as we have viewers going on as soon as you can.
So that's why when people were saying, they were lucky, I said, bro, then that's not luck, bro. That is high-level skill.
Yeah.
Done there.
It's also called having an extra man on the pitch.
Whose fault
at the
is
same
that?
time.
Whose fault?
No, I know. But like Liverpool had everything going.
But that is not luck, though. When I heard people, like I was driving home yesterday and I was listening to a certain radio station, Newcastle fan, they were lucky. I said, no.
There was some elements of luck, I feel, but I just feel like the skill level of Liverpool is far more superior, and it just showed in that latter stages of the game. And all they needed to do is just.
You're telling me, right, that Szoboszlai's piece of vision, that not you obviously.
No.
People, is that luck? The way he just knew that
it's
Rio
fantastic.
was behind him. When Rio comes to the ball and he curls it around, you're telling me that's luck? That's a brilliant piece of skill.
No, it's just a good goal. And
Great goal.
Salah obviously coming in clutch when needed after three bad games.
Yeah, all around it was a good goal, leading up, like even just the one-touch play around the box.
Exactly.
And then bang, Szoboszlai dunked.
That was a goal worthy of winning any game.
Yeah.
That is not luck.
It's frustrating though. But
obviously there's so much tension around that game because of all the Isak drama here and there. And after the game, the game's died down now. And I remember saying to AGT, I think there's going to be one more big going in like today or tomorrow or something. But Ben Jacobs in the last couple of hours come out with the latest news surrounding all the Isak stuff. And what he said...
Hit me with it.
Yeah, so verbatim, this is what Ben Jacobs has said. Alexander Isak has no plans to reintegrate or play for Newcastle again. This has been made clear in meetings for months.
He's stubborn.
Player position may not change at all, but certainly not with the window open. Isak would only consider a softened stance if Liverpool tell him a move is impossible this summer. Liverpool won't offer anywhere close to the 150 million if a second bid arrives. The club know that they are the only suitor and will stick to their valuation should a deal present itself this week. So, 7 days left. Ben Jacobs says if another bid goes in. I think that's an almost certainty another bid goes in. Because Isak wouldn't be playing. It says here, Isak would only suffer his stance if Liverpool told him a bid deal's impossible. Yeah. Clearly, Liverpool would have already told him that the deal was impossible if they weren't going to put in another bid with 7 days left in the window. 7 days left in the window.
Yeah.
So, in light of the game, the drama, and everything that's happened, do you think this move still goes through or not?
I think it should go through. I think Newcastle need to just cut the ties now because they try. I thought it was bizarre. Two of them rocking up at it's facts. Rocking up at Isak's house yesterday on the day of the game. Yeah, and publicising it. By the way, I thought that was a bit sneaky. Trying to convince. He's not going to do that now.
Just let him go.
Because if he goes the other way, it's such a massive climb down for him. He's going to look silly, and he knows that. I'm sure he's aware of that.
He's gone so far now. It's so hard to come back.
Point of no return.
To go back to playing for Newcastle is more or less so difficult. I just felt like I agree. It's something that they need to let go of him. Newcastle need to focus on the future. And as much as they say that Isak's not bigger than the club, they've kind of made this whole situation bigger than the club itself. And that's why everyone's talking about it. That's why even the players are feeling the emotions behind it as well. If anything, if I was Newcastle right now, I'd just sell him for whatever price they've been given from by Liverpool, and use the money to reinvest in in a bigger squad and get a striker. You can get strikers out there. All right, cool. You're not going to get an Isak. We get that. Just be privileged that you had him in your team, but you need to rebuild. That's how I look at it.
And it's interesting because that game yesterday, it kind of highlighted how much they miss Isak, because in that first half, they were clearly the better side, especially the first 30 minutes. I think they created something about 6 chances. At least 2 of those were scoreable. You know what, I've got to say though,
it's always the case when a winger starts up front, it's really fun.
So why didn't they play Osula up front?
That's what I said. I questioned as to why Eddie Howe didn't start with Osula, just to keep that balance.
Probably because he trusted Gordon's work rate out of possession.
Trusted him.
Yeah, but he trusted him for a bit. It didn't quite work.
It's not the first time he's done that either. Remember he done that in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup.
He's a bit of a hothead. He is a bit of a hothead.
He is.
But I think what Eddie Howe must have been thinking was Anthony Gordon will be absolutely relentless at their back line. Yeah. Because Liverpool's back line, we've seen it all 3 games so far, right? Their back line is a little bit overexposed. I keep saying I reckon at some point they're going to change to a back 3. Not necessarily permanently, but there's going to be a period I think where Slot's going to try it, especially if they end up going and signing Mark Gay. And this is a question I want to pose to you guys, is should Liverpool go back in and seriously try and put another bid in for Mark Gay, considering just how open they look to the backs? Because basically the last piece of news of Gay, I was looking just before, is although Man City had been rumoured to be in the race as well, Fabrizio Romano has confirmed Man City are nowhere near this. Despite receiving offers from other clubs, Gay's situation has not changed and Liverpool remains his favourite destination. There's obviously all the stuff about him ignoring Mark Glasner at the end of the Chelsea game last week, which is a bit of a weird one. And means Liverpool do look open at the back, and I think they do need a centre back. They do need another centre back. So do you
they
think
need one.
they should, like last day in the window,
are they before Sunday? That's right.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I mean, we'll talk about this later, but I thought they looked quite vulnerable yesterday.
They did.
I think Konate, he's on another planet at the moment.
He's already learning Spanish, people.
It's virtually Virgil versus the world, isn't it? Because Kirkes was way off it as well.
Kirkes is way off it. He's still settling in at Liverpool, and I think probably a lot of Arsenal fans, especially Arteta, would have looked at that game and said, you know what, we can beat these lot based on the set pieces, exploiting them, and that's what Newcastle done very well yesterday. But yeah, if you isolate Konate, he's not as good as Virgil van Dijk is, and I think like people are slowly starting to suss it out. He's not having a good game, but yeah, if they do go for Mark Guy, I don't know if Crystal Palace will allow him to go.
They probably would.
But apparently Palace have shown an interest in another defender, I'm hearing, this morning. So that would seem to indicate that they're preparing.
If they are,
for
then
Gay's
fair enough. I don't know. I can't remember like the
departure.
Akanji news as well.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, it's the Akanji stuff. Yeah.
So Akanji, yeah.
Well, I think it's the only person I've seen say that is Indy Kyler, and I don't know, how you guys feel about
really
Indy Kyler.
I like them.
Are they on that Mount Rushmore of reputable sources?
Of all the
Arsenal things that's happened has come through them. I
won't go into it. But yeah, but I think Liverpool. Gay's deal, I believe, runs out next summer. And he's not signing a new deal, so it's like Palace, they rejected 60 to 70 million offers for him in January from Newcastle, and now I think at 35-40 million seems to be a reasonable fee they're willing to accept. But at the same time, it seems like Palace are happy to let his valuation drop in order to keep him as long as they can, because he is their captain at the end of the day as well.
He's a big
and selling your captain with 7 days left of the window, you're gonna have to find a new captain, find a new centre back here and there. If it like Akanji may be one that they're keeping on the back burner just in case he goes. But from a Liverpool perspective, I do think Liverpool should probably at least see if they can go get Gay.
Far be it for me to tell them what to do, but they definitely need to address that situation.
Isn't it strange though? Because a few weeks ago we was probably looking at Liverpool and the business that they'd done, and we looked at their whole team and we thought, I thought, wow, they're set to go and win. You reclaim the Premier League. Probably they've got a good enough team to do it. But I don't know. I think it's since I've been watching them in the Charity Shield, etc. And the pre-season, I've seen certain weaknesses that maybe we haven't seen before, and it's happened on a consistent basis now. So for me, especially at the start of the season, usually Liverpool, they hit the ground running. Usually that's how it is. But they've staggered through against Newcastle, which is still a good sign because we had to do that against United in the first week. But yeah, it's quite interesting now that they look a lot more weaker. Then maybe I look to them. Do
we want to talk about Florian Wirtz yet, or are we still leaving that a bit longer?
I don't know. It's a different type of game for Wirtz. Those games there, a player like him, he's going to struggle because the pressure that Joe Linton, Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes put on you, you don't have enough time to settle. Wirtz needs time to settle. He needs that space, and Newcastle done very well because they didn't allow him any space, but he still managed to pop up in little pockets, which was good. A lot of people, they're like, oh yeah, the amount of money you spent, what has it done? I think that's a bit unfair. He's a quality player. Give him time to settle in to that Liverpool and let him adjust. But Newcastle away is difficult for any player. It doesn't matter how much you're worth, how much you've been brought for. You go to Newcastle away, you're going to be put under pressure regardless.
Especially a game like last night.
Yeah.
I've been someone who's watched 80, £100 million players playing for United and then get immediately kind of put on the front foot and pressure on them, blah, blah, blah.
You mean like Sesko?
No, I think we'll get on to Sesko, man. I was more talking about like Paul Pogba and stuff. Right? I've seen like Paul Pogba, he's come in, and because he didn't immediately score 10 goals from deep midfield, he was getting harassed, being like, he's a waste of space, a waste of money, blah, blah, blah. And I know, like with Wirtz costing £100 million from a neutral, like I've watched him so far and I've gone, he's looked a little bit off it. But
I think Quams is right. The nature of the beast in the Premier League, especially,
you got to give him a bit.
High-profile, scrutinised league. Every single thing is scrutinised to the finest detail. He's not made the most auspicious of starts, but we know he's a quality player. Like Quam said, yesterday's game was a bit of a one-off, really.
Yeah.
Insofar as it was turned up. Yeah. Even by Premier League standards, that was turned up yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
not only that, he's coming up against probably the most physical midfield trio in the Premier League.
For sure.
Tonali, Joelinton and Bruno Guimaraes. That is no joke.
It's not an easy,
especially at Newcastle, especially given the circumstances.
As well,
of that game.
Wirtz looked great against when I did the Community Shield live stream here. He looked good against Palace. So I think it's just a case of he's just got to settle.
No, he will adjust.
He's got to settle behind his feet, I think.
He's fine. They just had a bad day in the office, and a lot of teams are going to have that. So we've had
that was always going to be a difficult game for Liverpool.
Yeah,
so
but they got the result, and that's the thing that matters.
And dare I say, had Anthony Gordon not got sent off, they probably would have won that game yesterday.
Well, Newcastle.
Yes,
I reckon so.
No. I think they would.
I reckon it would have been a lot tighter, and it was tight even with 10 men. But and also Gravenberch, what a player he is.
Great finish as well by him.
What a player Gravenberch is. But moving on, we're going to talk about United, my team. I want to talk about my team.
Let's talk about
my team.
So
7 days after the window, Manchester United have sold a grand total of 0 players, and we've loaned 11. 1 first team player and then 10 academy players, and it looks like we're going to sanction even more loans. So first things first is Rasmus Højlund. So, as has been coming up on the screen a number of times, Rasmus Højlund is closing in on a move to Napoli. It seems to be at the moment a loan with an option to buy that becomes an obligation based on a number of appearances for Napoli and Champions League football. Right. And so Højlund's been...
Good job it's not based on goals.
Yeah. That's not fair.
Otherwise he'd end up owing Napoli money.
He's going to... Nah, that's not fair. But the thing is Højlund in the media, or what's been said in the media, is that Rasmus Højlund wants, like, wherever he's going, he's fine with an initial loan, but he wants to know that he's going to stay where he is. So he's been very adamant, basically, reportedly very adamant, going... I want this transfer to eventually become permanent. Well, he said that to AC Milan, he said that to Napoli, blah, blah, blah. So, based on the Champions League and appearances
Do you think he has that amount of leverage?
Yeah, well, it's just his preference. It's more just like I
not
think
being funny, right?
Well, he's watched what's happened with Rashford, what's happened with Sancho, etc. Players have gone out on loan with options to buy, and they've not been triggered. Just for him, at 22 years old, after not working out at United, I think he wants to go somewhere and know he's going to stay there.
Smart.
But that depends on him how he performs.
Of course, but
it does. But he's allowed to ask for that.
Yeah, he's entitled.
And he's allowed to ask for that, and he asked that of Napoli, and Napoli went cool.
Yeah, I think
Antonio Conte went So I think the appearances are going to be like 15 to 20. I think it's going to be low, and then obviously we'll just wait to see if they qualify for the Champions League, which they should, in theory, qualify for. So
listen,
I think,
I hope
it's like 40 million for United, which is for me. Perfect.
I hope he proves me wrong, but I've got to be honest, man. I don't rate him as a striker.
No, I get it. He hasn't shown it.
I've not seen anything from that guy to suggest.
Honestly, he's got elements. He has got elements. He's got elements.
Be honest. No, what is the elements? That he works hard? So what? Everybody's supposed to work hard.
He is quite quick. He can hold up play. The problem is he didn't have enough time. Again, I keep using that word to settle, but... He's been here long enough. No. He needed to find his feet, and he really struggles when it comes to confidence.
He struggles when it comes to scoring goals.
Yeah, of course, but he's entitled. He's well within his rights to negotiate something in his contract that sees it that he's going to be in a long-term position with a club, and that's something that maybe Isaac should have done when he was negotiating his contract. He should have looked at all of the little clauses, etc. that he should have added. So he's well within his right.
He's well within his rights. But what I'm saying is, right, I've not that guy, Rasmus, and I'm not just saying this now.
That's
you can look back at
but it depends on the environment of a player.
No.
Yes, it does. Because all of the players...
Where's he ever been a prolific goal scorer? Where?
Look at all the players that are at Man United on paper, and we've seen them under different managers, or even for international level, and they've played much better than they're currently playing now in Amrin's team. It's always down to the environment.
You've not answered my question.
Scott McTominay.
Where has this guy ever shown that he's a consistent, prolific goal scorer?
If he goes to Napoli, I believe he will.
Hilarity at Atalanta. That's why we bought him. It was because he was at Atalanta for 6 months.
How many did he get?
Scored like 12, 13 goals in 6 months.
Check. People in the comments, you can put it down below as well.
But I do want to say, so just we do have a lot to get through. Yeah, there has been some definite, I'd say, semi-breaking news on Bruno Fernandes. But first, I want to tell the viewers.
Don't do you keep us in suspense.
Yeah, no, because I want to keep you guys in suspense. That if you become a member with DR Sports today, you can get behind-the-scenes access here at DR Sports of all of this, and we've got a video to show you.
Oh my God!
I'm enjoying the gang being back on the show as well.
Licks!
He is scared.
That's for me girlfriend only, that okay?
On top of a bus stand.
Robbie's a man who's experienced in other dance style.
Here we go, Robbie whining on a bus stop at Carnival.
About me winding up with some girl at a bus stop.
Of course, a few wines and me pastime.
Little rat.
Welcome to Diary Room, where you could lose your life at any moment.
I don't want to see you in this building anymore, right?
Welcome to Diary Room.
We have lots of stuff coming in the next 12 months of DR Sports in what will probably end up being one of the most ridiculous Premier League seasons we're going to see for the next couple of years. Everything's just lining up so well. So if you do want to get all the behind-the-scenes access on DR Sports, become a member today and you'll get access to all of it. But back to Bruno Fernandes.
Yes.
So Daily Mail have come out at 5 p.m. This was announced. So it's Bruno Fernandes will be opening to leave Manchester United at the end of the current season. He wants to stay at United for another season, so the coming season, but he would then consider a move to Saudi Arabia, the MLS, or one of Europe's other major top leagues. Is this something United should agree with?
100%.
Because he's the club captain, he's the leader of the squad, he's Amarim's guy, but he's 30 turning 31. He's 2 years left on his deal at the end. I believe it's 2 years, or maybe 1 year left of the deal at the end of this season. And there's been some discourse in the last few weeks of, does he fit?
Yeah, it doesn't fit. In my opinion, it doesn't fit. When I speak to a lot of Man United fans, they're kind of split because obviously they're living off of the history of what Bruno has done for the club. And 100%, he scored many goals, he's had many assists. However, is he fitting in Amarin's system right now? Is he a potential weakness in that midfield? 100%. To the point where also, on top of that news, is they're considering getting rid of Kobbie Mainoo, one of the best midfielders.
The club aren't considering getting rid of him.
So what is
he's open to leaving because he's not playing at the moment.
Right, and it's for me.
But the fact that you get to that point is a bit ridiculous.
Exactly, I just can't believe that, and it's a thing where I felt like Bruno Fernandes should have gone a long time ago, early in the transfer window, in my opinion, and that was the point where Man United could rebuild completely. But I feel like we're still holding on to the past instead of moving on, and this is where I see a lot of clubs, they like to hang on to these players for a bit too long. Bruno clearly doesn't fit in the system. We saw it at Craven Cottage. Obviously, it's not just him and his playing style, but it's also sometimes his attitude when things go wrong. So if a referee bumps into him, that throws him off his whole game. He's supposed to be the leader. He's supposed to be the captain. Lead by example. Things like that shouldn't be happening for me with a player of his magnitude, his talent. And there's so many question marks about Bruno and his positioning and how he gets found out in the midfield that I just feel like Amarin he's relying too much on him, and he needs to change it up, because if not, Bruno Fernandes is going to be part of the reason why Amarin loses his job at Man United. That's me saying it long term, I feel.
Laurie? I'm sure
interesting.
you've got plenty to say.
I wonder if this latest speculation is linked to that non-performance he had on Sunday, in which what Kwame references him complaining that the referee bumped into him and didn't apologise.
Shoulder barge. Come on, Bruno Fernandes.
What kind of captain?
Yeah, I think the fact that he let that get to him is ridiculous. But the interview afterwards, he did say, after basically explaining why he was upset, he did say it's no excuse for why I absolutely
he threw the game away.
But the guy who's so composed in those kind of moments and always has been, penalties, under pressure, all this, all that, to let that of all things get to you. It's like the 37th minute against Fulham. It's 0-0.
Yeah.
All you got to do is stop the ball in the back of net. Like, he was on before that penalty. I think he was on course to become the greatest statistical penalty taker of all time in terms of most penalties, with most the highest conversion rate, this and that.
Right.
Because he scored 50 pens in his career out of 53. And he did it 2 years ago as well against Villa, where he skied it when we needed him to score. But
if you contrast that, right, remember that incident with Wayne Rooney when he had a little argy-bargy with the ref,
snapped it top
and then
in.
seconds later he had a volley and he
tucked it away.
Absolutely
I cannot
bodied it.
believe he missed it. It's ridiculous, but I do think
and then
it's
to
just
go
a
on
moment.
national TV and say, "Oh, he didn't apologise."
That's an excuse.
I know.
That's
I feel like
lame.
an excuse.
I think he should have thought of a better, because he was obviously going to be asked about it, and he should have just thought of a better answer or given a non-answer and just gone, it doesn't matter.
But that being said, though, he is United's best player, so we do need to give him his flowers. Last season he was unbelievable for United, but I do agree with Kwame that it's probably time for him to leave, not because he's not a very good player. In spite of the penalty, he's still a brilliant player. But I think if United are planning for the future, then I do think that Yeah, they probably need to let him go.
I love Bruno Fernandes, right? As a United fan, just watching him the last 5.5, 6 years.
Yeah.
He's an excellent player.
I love watching
great.
him. I love it when he's being ratty and irritating opposition fans and teammates. I love everything he's done for the club, but it just. I don't know if it's down to Amorim or down to him, but he doesn't fit in this 8 role as easily as I thought he would have. Because there were points last season where he looked amazing in it, and he's not got the legs around him. But so it's just that's a bit of it's the whole thing at United. It's so both-sided. The reason why Bruno might not be playing well and why we're not playing well and why there's issues. Like, it's certainly partly down to Amorim, partly down to Bruno, partly down to others, and partly down to the fact that we have Kobbie Mainoo in the team who isn't playing. Isn't playing.
How is he not playing? I just don't get it. Why is it that Ugarte, Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes are more favoured, or even Mason Mount now? But Kobbie Mainoo, some of the moments that he gave you guys even last season, it's fantastic.
I agree. He should, in our team, even if Bruno is playing, Mainoo should be playing as well. Because I refuse to believe that Kobbie Mainoo's defensive lapses make us any worse than we are playing Casemiro or Ugarte.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe that he will actually make our defending worse. And then he is so much better on the ball and inside. I get he can't cover the spaces as well, but I don't think Casemiro can either. And Ugarte can, but his duelling is so inconsistent that even if Ugarte gets there, there's no guarantee he's still winning the ball. He might give away a foul, and suddenly they've got a free kick.
Let's cut to the chase. I think Ugarte's been a poor signing, man.
Yeah. Ugarte has.
If I'm Kobbie Mainoo and I'm looking at that team.
Exactly.
And thinking what
I will tell you
in World Cup year as well.
Kobbie Mainoo, so as per ESPN, Kobbie Mainoo is starting tomorrow, and so is Benjamin Šeško, and so is Andre Onana.
Yeah, but
so as per those reports,
it's a low profile game.
It is a low profile game, but
Cup,
at least Mainoo is because I was genuinely sat there this morning going, if Mainoo doesn't start against Grimsby, I might just throw the towel in.
Not being funny, mate, but that is not going to come as any comfort.
No, I know, but what I'm hoping is he has a good performance and hopefully starts against Burnley, or at least comes off the bench against Burnley.
Well, he's a professional, so he doesn't need to give his best. But what I'm saying is that is not going to placate Kobbie Mainoo playing him against Grimsby in the Carabao Cup. No. He wants to be playing regular. I mean, this is World Cup year.
This is it.
Yeah.
And before all this happened, he was in the England set-up.
Yeah. He was.
So he's been treated quite poorly. But to go back to Bruno, as much as I respect him as a player, the histrionics and all that nonsense he did on Sunday kind of gave me the vibe of somebody who's probably thinking, do I really want to be here? So this latest development about Saudi and all the rest of it doesn't come as no surprise.
Take the deal.
And United should take the deal and move on. Because
use your money.
The king is dead, long live the king. He's been a great player for you lot. Last season he was very instrumental in a lot of the few good things that you did. But it's probably now time to move on. There is a big weakness in that midfield area of United, and you do need to start planning ahead. So you can get good amount of money for him.
If Bruno, I wanted when the Al Hilal links were happening beginning of the summer, I wanted Bruno Fernandes to stay, and I was very happy when he stayed. And Bruno did this last year where he started really poorly. Remember, he got 3 red cards, I think, in 2 months last year, and it took him until his 3rd red card against Wolves, where he fixed up. But he fixed up, and then he was stunning. From December right to the end of the season, he was, apart from the Europa League final, but we're never going to talk about that game again, he was stunning. But again, it's another thing, like, you're the club captain, and it's like he's had 2 poor performances, and Kobbie Mainoo is the embodiment of Manchester United. So the fact that Bruno Fernandes is playing poorly and he's being petulant on penalties and all that, then Kobbie Mainoo sat there literally on the bench just like this, watching the guy who he's competing with play poorly and still play, and I hate the whole situation.
Did you say as well that he's entertaining? Well, if not entertaining, he's open to move.
It's more like if a big club were to come in, like let's say someone like Real Madrid or a Premier League top club or a top club in Europe were to come in and go, would you join? He'd probably go, yeah.
You know what?
What's your contract?
That's it for me. That's it. If you're a fan of any club, big or small, and you hear one of your best players talking like that, it's time to let him go.
What, Mainoo?
No,
Bruno.
Oh, you're
Bruno
talking about Bruno. Sorry, no. So it says
Bruno
Fernandes will be open to leaving United at the end of this season.
Yeah, so they should start planning for him to leave now.
Just play. I just think for just quickly.
If he's gone public with that, you need to let him go now.
It's just that's the report that's come out. So it's not necessarily he's gone public. But in the way of like that, I guess that's what's being said in the media.
For his career, I feel like Kobe needs to leave. And what better team to go to than a Newcastle, who are struggling with... Yes, mate.
Kobe Mainoo is one of the best young players in the Premier League. He's better than Newcastle.
But he would elevate Newcastle United.
Yeah, he would, because he's one of the best young players in the world.
Nah, mate. I'm telling you, he needs to play regular football. If he goes to Real Madrid now, he's not going to be playing regular, is he? He's not. He needs to go to a team that are still in the Newcastle in the Champions League, correct?
Yeah, but he's above.
So he'll be... Hold on.
Is above
no player is above. No player is above.
If he wants
for his career, for his England career especially, he needs to be playing regular football. He's not playing regular football right now at Man United. The best team I feel right now where he can play week on week is Newcastle United, where they're dying and they're crying out for midfielders now based on the injuries
West
that they
Ham.
got. West Ham. Then I would react like Dylan.
Dylan. Newcastle is good enough to be playing for Real Madrid, Barcelona,
He won't start.
all these teams.
He won't start. He's not going to get ahead of Pedri.
He probably would. He's so good. He should be starting for us.
Of course. If he's so good, he should be starting for you.
Yeah, he should be. But for a reason, our manager isn't starting him for some reason. But that doesn't mean that he's not good enough to start for us.
What is the reason?
This is good, people. Smash your like buttons as well, mate.
Yeah. So this is really rolling me up. No, I don't. What the reason he's not starting?
Because you watch these guys every week, so you know.
For some reason, Amorim so far has preferred the alleged security of a defending midfielder. But that's not down to Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo, right? If let's say we got a new manager in or switch to 3-4-3, Kobe Mainoo would suddenly be the first player on a team sheet. This is an 18-year-old who started every single the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals of the European Championship for a team that went all the way, right, and forgot to win it. He is better than Newcastle.
He's not better than Newcastle. He would help Newcastle, and it would help his career as well.
If he was at Newcastle now, every other major club will be clamouring for him.
100%. But he'll be able to elevate his career at Newcastle. It would be the perfect platform.
But I think his career, his everything else is already higher than Newcastle.
I feel like if he stays at Man United, and like they've maybe been saying that he needs to fight for his position against Bruno Crybaby Fernandes, he's going to lose out. And I don't want to see this boy not feature in the World Cup either.
I don't think he would if Amorim left. I reckon if Amorim wasn't here, or is being sacked soon. Because let's say we're in the bottom half of the table by November, Amorim's gone.
No, that's fine.
And I think Mainoo then immediately overtakes Bruno or plays alongside Bruno in the midfield. I think pretty much any other manager would play the two of them. I really think that.
Yeah. So it's question marks about Amorim.
I don't know about he's too good for Newcastle.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
No, man,
too good.
Nah,
he deserves to be playing for one of the best teams in the world.
He would be quality at Newcastle.
Yeah, of course he would, because he'd be probably one of their best players, if not their best player.
But out of the top 6 teams, or the top teams that are in the Champions League, who else would he be playing for week in, week out? He's not going to go.
And not only that, the fact that he's not playing as well kind of suggests that his market value is dropping week on week.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's not. I don't think that's anything to do with his ability.
They just don't want to let him go, people. They don't want.
No, I don't. I would keep.
But you know what they say
any day of the week.
It's like if you're out of sight, you're out of mind.
But like just personally, I really, really, really want to keep Kobe Mainoo. If he goes, I'll be devastated.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll be absolutely devastated because he is Manchester United.
No, but why is it that the manager saw fit not to play him on a consistent basis?
Because Amorim,
what is his failings?
Amorim wanted alleged extra security that Ugarte.
When you say security, what do you mean? Physicality, legs?
As in someone just like legs who can defend. But it's like, but in my personal view,
in your opinion, what is Mainoo's best position in midfield?
Huh? He's as an 8.
Box to box.
Yeah, someone who could, because he's really good at receiving on the half turn, really good in tight spaces, and can play kind of in that position of centre line towards the edge of the box. So he's got a really good shot on him. We've seen it multiple times. His dribbling is fantastic. He's got good short passing. He's really intelligent.
Passing,
So it's someone not like a Bruno Fernandes number 10, but in the same way that like we see. You know the kind of role Declan Rice plays, right? Where he can carry the ball, he can get the ball and stuff. That is I think Mainoo would thrive. So if he's got someone like Baleba or a 25-year-old Casemiro or someone behind him who can help sweep up, because his big weakness is that he can't cover huge amount of spaces.
So who's your 6 at the moment then?
Casemiro.
Yeah, that's
or Manuel Ugarte. Yeah. So Amorim is yet to play Bruno and Kobe together. And just in my mind, looking at Casemiro and looking at Ugarte, I can't see where the drop-off is if you play Manu ahead of them. But for some reason, Amorim is still doing it.
Managers do have these idiosyncrasies.
Yeah, because Bruno Amorim does have a blind spot with Bruno, I think, and he has a blind spot with Manu Ugarte.
I can understand him having a blind spot with Nuno. I can, because he's your best player. He's your talisman. So I can well understand it. The Ugarte thing, though, I mean, it's not like he brought him into the club. He was already there when...
he was.
When the manager rocked up, right? So it's not even like, like a bit like with Havertz. Arsenal fans will always say, because the manager brought in Havertz, he will play him no matter what. But that's not even the case with Ugarte and Amorim.
It's an interesting one.
It is.
Interesting one.
Yeah, but
I do agree with Kwame. There's no way he's too good for Newcastle.
Yeah, too good.
I believe he deserves to be playing for the best clubs in the world, and I don't put Newcastle in there. That's what I meant.
But I'm just saying,
I think right now
he needs to be at a club week in, week out. He'll be the perfect fit. Let us know in the comments below. I'm telling
Fair
you
play to him as well. He's not, to my
Newcastle.
knowled's, thrown his toys out of the pram yet.
He's not. He's a really grounded, lovely guy. And he's just so damn good at football. But sometimes, sorry, just quickly. Sometimes in life, you can be too nice.
Got to be ruthless.
If you do throw your toys out the pram, sometimes
be like Isaac. Don't turn up to training.
But no, I'm not advocating that either. But I'm saying he probably needs to initiate some serious discussions with the manager and say, look, what is my future here? I'm not going to sit on the bench. Especially
I've got a sneaky feeling he's just going to outlast Amorim. If Amorim doesn't fix up, it would just outlast him.
Yeah,
like literally in the next couple of months.
Good for Amorim,
really think so. Yeah. But Spurs, Tottenham. So Como have rejected a £42 million offer from them for Nico Paz.
Okay.
Who's one of their attacking players, who was very, very good in the Serie A last season.
Yeah. And
apparently it's because Real Madrid helped block the move. Because they have a option to re-sign Paz for just under £8 million this summer, and that increases £1 million every year until 2027, with his Como contract expiring in 2028.
Right.
So Spurs have had a £42 million offer rejected, and Real Madrid have helped that because they have an £8 million buy option. Have Spurs just been massively stiffed here?
It sounds
as
like,
usual.
It sounds like it is, because obviously I think we beat them to defend the Ecuadorian defender, which you'll probably bring up as well. What's his name? Hingari or Hincape? Yeah. Piero. Yeah. So it's a thing where it's similar. Spurs and again Newcastle fans, they're at a stage where they're trying to transition from just being like a big club to a very legendary club, in the sense of you've got to go for certain players, and I think that when you're rubbing shoulders with these bigger clubs, they're always going to pick the bigger club, or they're always going to have more ties to the bigger clubs, like your Real Madrids, your Liverpools, etc. So it's good because it shows that they've got a vision of where they want to be. Thomas Frank has also got a layout of the types of players that he wants. Vaz is very good. He is very, very good. But if he's already got, or if they've already got an agreement with Real Madrid, then of course he's going to favour Real Madrid over Spurs, and of course they're going to... Real Madrid are like the mafia. Sorry, not the mafia. They're just very influential in the footballing world. But it's mad
that if they're convincing Como to reject 42 million so they can accept 9 million or something, that's crazy.
You know what that probably is down to? Probably establishing good relations in the future.
Do you think as well that might be down to the player as well? The player maybe saying, I only want to go back to Real Madrid. Because Ancelotti he previously called him the future of Real Madrid.
Isn't it?
Not only that, I'm sorry to interrupt. I've heard reports in the past whereby the Spanish league encourages clubs to try and keep players in Spain.
But Como in Italy.
I know. Well, they will help the clubs to get players to come to Spain.
Okay.
And the players that are in Spain to keep them. In other words, what I'm saying is that there's a concerted effort to try and get the best players to Spain, because they're worried that players going to other clubs.
Well, yeah, but would that not be the same for all leagues? Like the Premier League will probably also want to keep all the best players.
Yeah, but will they work together like that?
I think it's a bit more cutthroat. Isn't Cesc Fabregas? There, isn't it? So obviously, Cesc, he had a part to play in this. Yeah, you don't want him to go to Spurs. You want him to go.
Actually, that makes a bit of sense.
But Cesc Fabregas is also Barcelona.
Yeah, but
so if you're using the Arsenal ties to reject Spurs, you're not going to say the same about Real
But
Madrid.
the relationship between Arsenal fans, he knows it. That's where it originated from, in the sense of he knows how much we hated Spurs. So maybe he had a part to play in it. But yeah, Spurs are going to be down in the pecking order when it comes to that. But they're still looking as good. They're still trying. Keep trying, Spurs. Keep trying. Yeah.
And almost full circle here. Newcastle, who we started talking about. Obviously, we've got the whole Isak thing. Is he staying? Is he going? And I think the panel we feel leaning more towards he'll end up at Liverpool than he'll stay. So obviously Newcastle need to sign a replacement. Well, they still need a replacement anyway because they got rid of Callum Wilson. And Newcastle are still working and insisting on trying to sign Jørgen Strand Larsen from Wolves. Obviously, they had a 50 million bid rejected, which is a flat-out 50 million bid. Wolves do not want to sell the striker, obviously having recently signed him because he was on loan and they signed him permanently. But Newcastle is still trying to find a club-to-club solution ahead of the deadline. So Newcastle
I can't see Wolves
are still pushing forward. Do you think that this is just another Newcastle rejection?
It could well be, because
signings.
I think Wolves could be in a bit of spot of bother this season.
I watched them against Bournemouth and they were flat.
Exactly.
They lost Cunha and they looked very flat, and Ait-Nouri, and they looked very flat.
So they could be signing their own death certificate by letting Larsen go, because he is a good player. I remember seeing him play for Wolves against Arsenal last season. He did look sharp.
But is he a striker for? Sorry to go. Is he a striker for Newcastle though? I just feel like they're getting a bit.
He's better
desperate.
than Rasmus, I'll tell you that.
The guy he scored. Most people are.
No, but you.
But
I'm telling you,
why are you bringing United back into this, man?
No, because it's just.
Why are you bringing United again?
It's just by way of example.
You don't like him.
No, it's not that I don't like him. He's probably a very nice kid.
League goals
I just don't think he's a very good striker.
How many goals did he score last season?
4. Rasmus Højlund.
No, Strand Larsen.
He got 14.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why would Wolves want to? Because seriously, if they're going to stay up, he's going to have a good season.
If Newcastle slap 60, 70 million on the table for him.
Yeah, but if they go down, how much is that they're going to lose? It could be far more than 60, 70 million, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But then if they go down, he might want to stay in the Premier League, and then they've got to sell for 30 next season because they've got no leverage.
Yeah.
I don't think this deal will go through. I don't think it. But there is the thing of obviously Newcastle also looking at Nico Jackson.
Yeah.
So Nicolas Jackson and stuff, but he could be heading on loan to Bayern Munich instead.
Yeah. He's got the potential. These are the kinds of players that Newcastle need to be looking at, where you can kind of still get something. I rate Nicolas Jackson. I think he's quality.
I reckon if he's given the option though between Newcastle and Bayern,
you're going to go to Bayern.
Although
Munich,
he's not going to get much minutes at Bayern, is he? Not with Harry Kane being there.
No.
But
so that's
true.
To consider.
Maybe they're trying to phase him out.
He's more likely to get more game time at Newcastle.
Well, he'll be Newcastle's starting striker.
He'll stay in England. But from a winning trophies and career development perspective, probably Bayern. But in terms of minutes and mind you, playing for Eddie Howe he's a very good manager. He develops players well.
He's good. He'd be like a Pepe Cisse, isn't it? That's the Newcastle striker they used to have. Pepe Cisse. Yeah. I reckon he'd be like Asprilla. Yeah. But
he's not as talented as Asprilla.
No, he's not. But I think that's the kind of level that Newcastle need to go for if they want to elevate themselves, and then you can start looking at the bigger players, and that's where I think they're aiming too high. It's no disrespect to Newcastle. I think they're aiming too high. They need to bring in players.
What do you mean by that?
I think because they got.
What do you mean?
Because they got Isaac. No, because they got Isaac and they've turned him into this superstar. That's what some of them believe. Yeah. I think Isaac is the type of striker that you would need to kind of finish off your team after you've done squad rebuild. Now, obviously, Newcastle were blessed to have him. They haven't got the players behind Isaac to obviously keep him at the club, in the sense that where you can look around and you can say, yeah, I want to stay at Newcastle because I can see where they're going. So
didn't have a problem
but
with
that's
it before
why I
Liverpool
said but then that's why I said Newcastle should have saw that and said, you know what, we've got the best out of this situation, let's sell him and then we can rebuild and then we can find a newer striker, etc. But because they've been holding on to him because they're like, this is the best thing we've ever had, we're the best thing, he's the best thing that we've had, they haven't been able to move on from it. So I just feel like they're looking at certain players like Ikatike and they're like, yeah, but he should have come to us. As all the players, look how many players have turned down, even Visa have turned down Newcastle. Visa from Brentford.
Wissa.
He hasn't turned it. He wants to go there.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like Brentford have even turned it down. So I just feel like they're not going for certain players that is a Newcastle.
So who do you think they should go for then?
I don't think
Maino.
this.
Joking.
I don't think the situation at Newcastle is necessarily down to them. I know, because I said the same thing as you a couple months back. But then I thought about it, and I don't think it's actually down to Newcastle at being too ambitious with their targets. It's about not having a plan to convince those people properly without a sporting director.
That as well.
So, for
Good point,
example,
good point.
they wanted to sign Cunha and Bumo, etc., Šeško, etc. But when you have, like, just from my perspective, Man United perspective, when you've got a Man United perspective of we've got Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, and Amorim all in place on that Zoom call, going, this is our plan, this is the three of us you're going to be dealing with, we'll show you every step of the way what we're going to do with you.
The vision.
Whereas at Newcastle, I don't know who is the person who's convincing. I just don't know, because I'm not a Newcastle fan.
No,
I'm
you're
not
right.
into it. But
That could be down. That could be
who's put it
down
all
though
in
to
place.
the aura
Good
of
point.
a club like Man United.
To a certain extent, yes, but Newcastle,
it's a
they were
legacy of
doing
the
when
club.
they started this build. They had Dan Ashworth, who was amazing at convincing people like Tonali to initially join. Tonali went from AC Milan to Newcastle.
Yep.
Now you think that's a good transfer for Tonali, but back a few years ago when Tonali signed, you're going, Tonali's gone from big AC Milan to
Down to
Newcastle.
Newcastle,
But Dan Ashworth convinced him.
Yes.
And then you had Paul Mitchell, who's there for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then he left, and then in summer they just don't have a sporting director.
Yeah. And I just feel like Newcastle are still learning. They feel like they can just throw money at players and they will come running. It doesn't work like that, and that's why other players, like you mentioned, Cunha, etc., have favoured for Man United, because they have a better plan for the players. They've sold the story, just like with Eze. We sold the story to Eze. We showed him the vision.
I don't know if Eze needed too much convincing, to be fair, being an Arsenal fan.
But most of Gyökeres, all of them, when you hear the reason why they've come to a club is because they've had a meeting with either the manager or the sporting director, etc., and they've laid out the plan for them. Andrea Berta, for example, for us, that's where Newcastle. That's what they're lacking, in my opinion. So it's really good.
Yeah,
that you brought
it's
it up.
I do hear what you're saying, but I do think a little bit of that is overstated. I mean, come on, let's have it right. If you're Gyökeres and this is no disrespect to Newcastle, because they are a big club, but if you presented with two projects, Newcastle or Arsenal, come on, bro. Arsenal is going to be the one. It's a London club. They're a massive club, one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's not going to take too much selling, really.
But the thing is Newcastle.
It's going to take a lot more selling
Newcastle
to go
have
to
lost
Newcastle.
out on everyone.
Yes.
It's the thing is,
No, I do
with
accept
the
that. I do
sporting
accept that.
director, they wouldn't have lost out on everybody. Is the thing. Probably the Isak situation may have been sorted much earlier.
Yes.
Had they had a
I do
sporting
accept that.
director,
Yes.
because the sporting director may have been like, guys, it's okay for us to take the hit on selling Isak, and we do it in June, or we go, all right, we do it. Ooh, sorry.
Breaking news?
I've just seen Kobbie Mainoo stuff coming out. David Ornstein
Come on.
has said. Where is it?
Kobe's
It's just
gone
come
on
out.
strike.
He's gone to Newcastle.
No, he's not.
Kobe's not turned up for training.
Sorry, Chris Wheeler, not. So it's Chris Wheeler saying Man United to decide on Kobbie Mainoo's future in the next 48 hours, and England start open to leaving Old Trafford before transfer deadline.
I don't blame him.
I will decide on his future, but I touch wood.
I'm telling you, he
That
needs
he'll
to go. He needs to
I
go.
think we'll want him to
I don't
stay.
think he will.
He'll go.
I don't think
You don't think he'll go?
No,
Or don't think he'll
no,
stay?
I don't think he'll stay.
You reckon United might sell him?
Yeah,
So
because
who,
if
to
he's
where,
not
and for how much?
playing, and
Newcastle United.
even if he goes out on loan, you have to remember this is World Cup year.
Everyone
Prior
wants
to
be
the
playing.
season
No, I
starting,
get that.
Kobbie Mainoo was.
I get why he might want to.
Why
leave.
would he want to stay there? To sit on the bench
What
for a manager
guarantees
that
has
don't
he been
believe in
given?
him?
Hey, Kobbie, you're going to play against Grimsby. Bro, come on, man. He's not
That's
an
what I'm
academy
saying.
player.
No,
He's
so because what I've been saying about Mainoo is I reckon he's good enough to play his way.
No, but you
Into
would. No, but hold on,
Manchester
hold on.
United.
I
Manchester United
sense a
starting
eleven.
little
That.
bit of discrepancy here. You are speaking as a fan that wants him to stay, but Amorim, who's the man in charge, the man who makes the decisions,
He's
has made
clearly
it quite
said,
clear that Kobbie Mainoo is not really part of his plans.
He needs to
So
fight
if
for
I'm
his
Kobbie
position.
Mainoo, I'm looking at, I'm thinking, you know what? I've, made myself available. It's clear that I'm not.
No,
wanted.
I get that.
I want to leave.
If Amorim sanctions this, I want him fucking gone. I honestly do.
Another one
Like
bites the dust.
the Rashford thing.
Yeah.
I was willing to back because I understood the reasons why. The Garnacho thing, I think, was the objective right decision.
Yeah.
To get Garnacho gone. The Kobbie Mainoo one, I don't fucking know what he's thinking. I'm telling you, I
he's lost
do
the
not
plot.
know
He's
what
in a-
he's thinking. And if he was to sell Kobbie Mainoo, no. No, I'd just get him gone. Genuinely.
So then he's going to have to play him then. So it's a good move by Manu.
I hope so, because he's our best midfielder.
Because in a way, that's Manu flexing and saying, look, man, if I'm not going to play,
He's doing the right thing.
He is doing the right thing.
I know. I just
back in the manager's court.
I just so hope he doesn't go.
Out of all the teams, who would you rather he go to in the Premier League then?
In the Premier League, none of them. I don't want to see him in the Premier League.
He's not going to go Europe yet. He's not ready for Europe yet. He's like a Real Madrid and that.
I can see him going to Europe. He could go there on loan.
A Dortmund or something.
Yeah, he could go there on loan.
Yeah, maybe a Dortmund. Maybe.
At this point, he just wants to be playing regular football.
People, have you seen the meltdown of Dylan?
I can't. I don't want to think about it, but I know I have to because it's real.
Yeah.
Are you equally as upset as Onana, possibly?
I wouldn't mind that one.
They're a bit of a basket case at the moment, I don't know. Yeah, I thought Amorim was brought in to sort of placate all this nonsense.
I'm just sat here contemplating this now. I'm not sure it's not as fantastic.
Well, like I said, you should go to Newcastle. Newcastle got Tonali who's out, Joe Linton that's out. He's perfect. He'll be perfect in that Newcastle team. I'm telling you.
Who does he start over?
What in terms?
Because you've been banging on about how Newcastle is guaranteed minutes.
Yeah, because I was speaking to my good friend.
So you got Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes, and Tonali. To humour you. You saying Kobe Mainoo's got to be starting week in, week out. Who out of those three players does he start week in, week out?
What, over?
Yeah, well, he has to start over one of them.
I could swap him with Tonali, to be honest. I could swap him with Tonali.
But Tonali is the base of that midfield three, and that's why he's not playing under Amorim, is because Amorim doesn't think he can do it.
No, he's a captain.
You could swap him. He's good enough. No,
he's not going to. He's not going to displace Bruno.
They are injured right now.
He couldn't displace the other Bruno. He's definitely not going to displace.
But that's based. Bruno. That's not based on playing. That's based on the manager itself. He's just being stubborn. Amorim is being stubborn.
No, but what I'm saying is he would not displace Bruno Guimaraes. He's the captain. You saw yesterday how good he was.
Okay.
He's vital to what.
But you can't play every single game.
You can't expect.
You cannot
Kobe Mainoo coming off United's bench to just walk into Newcastle and displace the captain. That's not happening.
Okay. All right.
So the only one there that he's likely to replace is Joe Linton.
I think
Joe Linton is, again, he's a big part of what Newcastle do.
He can start over Joe Linton.
I rate him so highly.
I don't think he starts over any of those three, if I'm being honest.
So then why are some people saying that he can't start over Bruno Fernandes? I believe he can.
I think he should.
He's good enough.
But the thing is, I don't think him not starting is down to his ability. It's favouritism. That's what it is. It is.
It's favouritism.
Because as well, you know what? Is if we sell Kobe Mainoo, Amorim's going to end up breaking that academy streak that we have. Mm-hmm. Every matchday squad for the last 87 years, United have had at least one academy player in the squad. Last squad we had was two. Fredrickson and Mainoo,
right.
And we currently have Martinez and Mazwari out injured. So there is a 20-man squad in United's first team which doesn't contain any first team players.
You know
that Amorim could realistically
just go on bended knee and beg Scott McTominay to come back.
He ain't coming back.
No,
because he's been a revelation since he left.
You see that picture of him lying down on the touchline? Like, you know what?
The man's getting nominated for Ballon d'Or.
No, I'm so happy for him. I am so happy for Scott McTominay. But I mean, he's not coming back, and that's just.
No, I'm only joking. I'm only being facetious.
Nothing's happening with there, but if we're deciding in Kobe Mainoo's future for the next 48 hours, Sir Ratcliffe better turn round to Ruben Amorim and go, he's staying, you play him or you're gone.
Yeah.
That might be a little over the top. Because obviously Sir Ratcliffe's not going to come around and go, it's either you or the player.
But I think Kobe Mainoo and his agent, because
Sir Ratcliffe loves Kobe Mainoo as well. That's so widely reported that he loves and wants Kobe Mainoo to be the face of United. So I refuse.
No, he's a local lad.
I believe that the others. You've got Omar Barada, CEO, Jason Wilcox, Director of Football, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, co-owner of United, won't want to see Kobe Mainoo leave. So hopefully they decide that Kobe Mainoo isn't leaving.
Ruben Amorim, he's quite a stubborn guy. He might say himself a me or him.
Talk to Amorim and go, what are you doing?
Isn't it? Amorim, it could be, he's a stubborn man.
Who's United got next? Premier League?
Burnley, at home.
Okay. So I would play Mainoo as well.
I would play Mainoo and Bruno that game, but knowing Amorim, he won't. But,
one thing I've noticed about Amorim since he's come, we've seen it with his formations, he's a very stubborn man.
Yeah.
He will just ride it out and just do what he thinks is best.
Yeah, but I think if he was want to open selling Kobbie Mainoo, I think that shows that Amorim doesn't know what being a Man United manager is.
Yeah,
really, I don't think it does, because as much as obviously everyone knows what it is in terms of playing academy here and that, blah blah blah. Like, it shows that I don't think he gets it. Like, he doesn't understand what his assignment is. His assignment is obviously build United back up to what we used to be and everything and stuff. But I don't think he he don't quite understands how to do that and the way we want that to be done, which is using our academy as a base.
Do you think he's got long left at United? Because there seems to be a common
I think
consensus.
if United sell Kobbie Mainoo, I think he is on fans. Like, fans will have had enough of it. If we were to sell Kobbie Mainoo, then that game against Burnley on Saturday, if Kobbie Mainoo's gone by then or something like that, he's going to get a nasty reception. And if he then keeps going and we're 14th, 15th, he'll then get sacked. We'll have sold our best player, our best academy player. And then where do we go from there? But I think he's on thin ice already.
I would say that.
He really is on thin ice right now. Because a lot of the stuff that he promised and said was going to go now hasn't gone.
Yeah.
Although it's only 2 games in, to be fair.
It's 2 games in, but it's just the feeling around it.
24% win rate in the Premier League.
It's hard not to think about that, because I originally was like, let him have his thing, his window, clean slate and everything. But then after these 2 games, a loss and a draw, even though we played well against Arsenal, we were dodgy against Fulham and got easily found out. It's just like the same issues are still there, and it's hard not, because the same issues are still there, it's hard not to forget about what was going on the last 6 months, the last 8 months. So it's just the feeling is so sour, and the Mainoo stuff is just the.
Could you see it's so deflated?
I know.
He needs therapy, man.
But
we're seeing a meltdown.
I know, and I'm still here every Friday. I'm sorry, every day for 5 p.m. the rest of this week, and I'm gonna have to be talking about Kobbie Mainoo every day until Friday. But
we'll see what happens.
I hope it doesn't happen. I hope he stays. As in Kobbie Mainoo, and Amorim is on the thinnest of ice. The thinnest of ice after this news.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think we're gonna wrap up there before I go mentally insane. But it's been a pleasure having you two back.
No problem.
Been great to come on the show, even though it's just been
this transfer window has just been amazing. It's the
gift has been good, isn't it?
giving.
And it's still
Can't
going.
they extend it for another month?
No, shut it. Close it down.
Because seriously,
close it down.
It's given football a whole new impetus. It really has.
Yeah.
It's a different
every day.
This season's like searching up,
been crazy,
drumming up to be.
In all the years I've been watching football, and we're talking many years now. I'm not going to give you my age, but I've been around a long time. I have never seen anything remotely like this. It's been amazing. Many stories.
It's crazy, and I think the season is cracking. I think the season's cracking. Hopefully Kobbie Mainoo's part of it for Manchester.
Well, it's given the season a lot of extra energy.
It has.
It does.
Shot
it
in
will.
the arm.
It will, and it's going to be interesting. But yeah. Gonna wrap up the show now. We've had an hour talking about transfers. It's been fantastic.
You spent about 20 minutes talking about
Kobbie Mainoo. It's the news of the hour. Quite literally the news of the hour. But we are here 5 till 6. Well, 5 till 5:45, 6 o'clock every weekday. I'm here with my various different guests, talking the latest transfer news, breaking it all down for you guys, be that Manchester United stuff, all the Isak Liverpool stuff, Newcastle trying to sign a striker, Chelsea trying to offload their players, sign Garnacho. We didn't even really speak about Garnacho today, but there's extra stuff coming all in from all across football, all across the Premier League. And remember to we've got other stuff coming up on Thursday. We've got the weekend preview. We've got FCM podcast coming up on Sunday as always.
Got Champions League draw.
Champions League draw as well. We've got all of this stuff going on on DR Sports. There's plenty of stuff. Remember, if you become a member today, you get all the behind the scenes stuff, all the diary room things, and you'll find out once you become a member. So make sure to become a member today, and I will see you in 23 hours to talk about more Kobbie Mainoo. And just talk about more of the football transfer world then.
Oh my God!
I'm enjoying the gang being back on the show as well.
Licks!
He is scared.
That's for me girlfriend only, that okay?
On top of a bus stand.
Robbie's a man who's experienced in the dance style.
Here we go, Robbie whining on a bus stop at Carnival.
About me winding up with some girl at a bus stop.
Of course, a few wines in me pastime.
Little rat.
Welcome to Diary Room, where you could lose your life at any moment.
I don't want to see you in this building anymore, right?
Welcome to Diary Room.